What's going on, boys and girls? Today, we're about to get off into the art of holding. This is the systematic process of setting up a holding company. This isn't for everyone. This is mostly for folks who have something that is going on or people have a good income. The art of holding is probably one of the best preventative courses there is, because once you set up your holding company, and at one point I was putting this out there that every man should have one, but so many people do not want to set up life insurance. They just don't want to do it. They really get into a bad situation, and then they will essentially try to get all these solutions after something bad has happened. This is one of the ways that you can set yourself up. So let me walk you through what's going down next week. Let me get into the right screen. Let me go here. All right. So this is a little different than stuff because there's already a lot of the work that is done. All right. Let's go into here. All right. Make sure. So this is what you get with the art of holding. Essentially, the art of holding companies' legal business structures, estate planning is part of the four mandates. Holding companies, LLC, S Corp, business credit, and long-term estate planning is comprised of four quadrants. So we will be, because this is, the link to this is under the video. So what's going to happen is you're going to get all of these courses, plus you're going to get a webinar, which will be next Tuesday, 7 p.m. Last night we had a webinar. People were talking about, the business credit thing. There is a process and there is a format to setting up business credit. You just can't cheat it, and it's going to cost you money to get yourself set up for that, which is something a lot of people don't want to hear. And this is why this is for people who already have up and running established corporations, businesses, and enterprises, or for people who have a good enough income where they can spend before they make. Let me be really clear about this. If you're a person in a situation where you don't have any extra money, just go under the video, click the links, look for some courses to help you get your money going on. Because to do the art of holding, you need to be at a certain income level. This isn't for broke Dick Danny. This is for people who want to establish certain things. And all right, there we go. This is for people who want to build a legacy. This is for people who want to systematically create a legacy. So this is what's going on with this. So what we got here? Morning, people. Macho, please talk about holding companies for real estate. Been waiting to pull the trigger for corporate direct to set up. You might as well go ahead and do that. $800. Hey, that's what you got to do. Um, B. Daniels, just depends on how you do that. What's up, Hector? Um, what life insurance? That is a part of state of planning, and that's pretty much on you. Does your credit union offer a good thing? Good is, I mean, you need to research that. You really do. But this is one of the new products. We're getting ready to make some changes here because I'm going to do another live stream today just to talk about this. So I'm not even going to get into this. What's up, Lamode? But this is the art of holding is a process of creating a holding company and creating your operating companies that are derived from that. Thank you, the DSL Chronicles. I appreciate that. Because if you take this seriously, this, well, because this is for a forward thinking person. This isn't for someone who's just thinking about, hey, I'm broke right now. I need a way to get some money. This is for someone who is past that. This is for someone who wants to set up a situation where they can leave their kids something other than just their name. One of the things with the art of holding is creating a situation where you protect your money, you protect yourself, you protect all the things. Because this is the thing with a holding company. The holding company's primary purpose is to collect money, which means it doesn't do business with anyone, it doesn't interact with anyone, so it can stay out of harm's way. That's a very key thing because once you start getting into some real money, the possibility of you getting sued goes up through the roof. It gets crazy what can happen with you. It can be incredible how often people come after you. So, ideally, this is something you would do before you get married, before you have children. For some of you, that's too late. That door has already closed. I'm speaking to the single man who has no children, who has no obligations. This is something you want to do in your current situation. Also, in terms of child support, this is a way that you can control how much you pay. No one can just assign a value. If you're having a job, whatever you make, they're going to just say, look, well, we're going to take a percentage of this. If it's one child or if it's two kids, we're going to take this percentage. You have no control in that. None, unless you work out a deal with the mother outside of court. But here's the thing with that. At any time, she can go to court and change your deal against your will and get those percentages, unless you have a holding company, operating company, and you can submit to the court a financial, financial worksheet of your situation, therefore controlling what you pay in child support. What's up, AK Stevenson? What's going on behind the lens? Because one of the things that Hustlers Kung Fu Life Skills is about is being a free person and setting up information so that you can be in a good situation, so that you can be protected. This is things you need to do before you get in bad situations. I have a lot of people who will get in a situation and then they want to then, like, how do I clean up this after it's already done? Some people have been on child support for 3, 4 years and they're like, hey, how do I fix this now? It's like, you can't fix that now. Your only way to change that is, how do you solve income inequity? Start a side hustle, start a side business. That's the only option you have at that juncture. Because once you're in the system, once you are already in harm's way, it's hard for you to get out of that. But this is one of the things, this is why you need to go ahead and get your holding company, get your operating company, and get into the business world as soon as possible to become a free person in this society. Because it goes deeper than just making money, it goes about having options. I have this saying, the only rights that you have are the ones that you can enforce. People will tell you that you have certain rights in court, but unless you're able to enforce them, they don't exist. I call those fake rights. You have the option to do this and do this. Well, unless you have the ability to enforce those rights, that's where you are. That's what you're going to be doing. So this is what's going on with the art of holding. This is what it's about. You can go below. The links below the video is in the description. I may put it in the comments section once the comments are gone. And essentially what we're going to do, let me get in here. We're going to go through these courses and we're going to have a live webinar next Tuesday, 7 p.m., May 7th. That's what's going down. Because we will talk about how to develop business credit. We'll talk about Fat Cat secrets. We will talk about the art of holding companies. We'll talk about that. And this is a very serious course that we would go over. So there are some resources here for people talking about how to set up your corporate checking, because this is where many people go wrong. They will go to a bank and they'll like, hey, I need to set up my business checking, and they'll set up 1 or 2 accounts and that's it, which could cause a problem. But we're going to go through all of these things next Tuesday. Plus, because once you sign up, you'll have access to how to get into the webinar. I got a question. How many people are interested in starting a holding company? Go ahead and put that in the comments. What's up, Destiny? What's up, King Nick? Audrey Manino. I already have 2 companies operating. Can I create a new holding company and set them up? How old are your companies, and do you have LLCs already for these companies? Well, Audrey, once again, going through marriage, wherever state you are, usually most products, including businesses, that happen during the marriage, you got to split that. This is something that needed to be done before you got married. Kenny, say that again. The only rights you have are the ones that you're able to enforce. That's what I'm trying to tell you. What's up, Al Gordon? Yeah, because see, an attorney is an officer of the court. They're not, their goal is to operate within a certain legal framework, which may go against your best interest. This is why I got rid of my attorney and fought my case myself. And this is the reason I got the outcome that I wanted, because I wasn't bound by certain ethics and certain professional guidelines that an attorney is. You've never heard an attorney say, hey, you don't have to pay child support. That's just not their purview. That's just no, no, no. So, um, the only rights are the ones you have to enforce. If you cannot, you won't do it. And that's why I'm better than an attorney, because I'll tell you the truth. I was schooling all kinds of people down there. All right, Audrey, one has an LLC. You're going to have to, you come to the webinar, just sign up and come to the webinar, because you're going to have to do some rearranging. Because if you're already married, um, the thing you can do is have your husband sign a certain agreement, which may come off as cold. Pretty. I just created my holding company Monday. You're in Texas. B. Daniels. I have 3 LLCs, which I made the mistake of not setting up the holding company first. What's going on? Randall. Derrington, I have an LLC nonprofit. The DSL Chronicles. I will be starting the holding company. I did the LLC without doing the company first. Audrey, one is 10 years old and 2 years old. Yeah, you're going to have to do some things a little differently. Nestor, what does you mean to get paid at my job through my LLC? Well, essentially, what you would have to do is become an independent contractor for your company and then have them pay the LLC. That's the only way that you can get to work that out. But once again, this is for people who really are aggressive about their financial future, because the only way, we've talked about this, people living in cars, people living in vans. Let me show you something which cracks me up. All right. This is how people are living. Let's see. Here we go. This girl started this a few years ago. This is how they're living. You have all of these grown people who are living in shared spaces. It's like being in the military or being in a college where you're put in a room. Well, college, you're going to have a room. In the military, you're going to have a certain room. But they have, let's go here. So this is the founder This chick right here, essentially, it's crazy. Uh, you will be staying in this dorm like situation. And this is for grown people, this isn't for children. This is how people are living because of income inequity. There are many people who feel that they cannot make enough money, and this is about the lack of a real financial education. Many people think of financial education as knowing about investing, stocks and bonds, uh, real estate, how to buy real estate. That's part of it. But if you have a true and solid financial education, you will know how to make money outside of a job. That's the truest form of a financial education. Once you get to that level where you can go out and create your own economy, we have people living in cars in 2019, and we have jobs. Let me show you, because it's jobs that pay 150K a year. Let me get in there. High income jobs. All right, we'll go through here. 10 high paying job with tons of open positions. It's easy to look at someone with a great salary and think how lucky they are, but the truth is, high paying jobs aren't as rare as they seem. In fact, they're often the ones with the most available positions. While you might first need to develop a special set of skills or pursue a particular degree, there are many in demand jobs with high salaries that are often increasing by the minute as employers struggle to fill them with qualified candidates. So, if one of these following positions looks interesting to you, so we got project manager, physician assistant, software engineer, marketing manager, nurse practitioner, business analyst, operations manager, occupational therapist, electrical engineer, product manager. We're on that entrepreneur tip here, but you got people out there living in their cars, living a substandard life because people will tell you Bernie Sanders and stuff is income inequity. We should raise minimum wage. People, it isn't a money problem, it's a skill set problem. You have many people who have skill set inequity. They just don't have the skills. There are jobs right now that pay $300,000 a year that are open because they can't find people to fulfill this job because they don't have the skills. So the jobs are there, but people just don't have this, the skill sets. All right. Yes, Audrey, you got to do some mental gymnastics. I guess I get paid in cash and reported in sales. Nestor, the way that you would properly do that is have the company that you work for hire your LLC. Dej, someone told me don't get an LLC until I make money in my intended business. I will agree with that, unless you're planning on building something. Dredd, you need to narrow down what you're going to do to make money. Rob, the van life and tally house life stuff is ass backwards. How can you want waterfalls, rooftop decks, granite? Hey, this is a repercussion of people not having the skill sets. Guess I can start selling cardboard housing. I mean, people are looking for simple, cheap solutions to complex problems. Josh, it looks like a hostile environment, very much so. Rob, most of those van life tiny house people complain about materialism, keeping up with the Joneses, stopping to fill a void. Sounds like a personal financial development problem. Yeah, that's one of the big things I see on these financial blogs. It's about stop spending money, stop buying stuff. But America is based on consumption and consumers. That's what this country's based upon. It's been that way for a long time. Yeah, the stock market has been very interesting. Kenny B4D3. Assertive marketing and curious skills to pay the bills. You can do that. But here, what we want to do is to fashion the legal entities to protect and grow money. There's so many things you can do with these once you know. But we have many people out there who are not proactive and are not looking out for their own best interest. They're just not. Oh, we're the top consumers in the world. That's what the American economy is built upon. Consumption is built upon car sales, it's built upon housing sales, it's built upon consumer electronic sales. So, from a culture standpoint, to go against that, you're going against the American way. I think no one else has the consumption rate that we do. There can't be two Americas, not like this. So, I have a friend on Facebook who is super frugal and is super cheap, and he has a business. Part of the direction that you need to get to making certain kind of money is the mindset. Oh, also, for those of you who have not joined, let me go ahead and intercept this. You should sign up for this. The Mindset Gym. Just go to the front of the channel and get in there. We're going to get into some mental training over here. Probably one video a week. And we're going to get into the things that you need to do to get your mind correct, because that's a big problem. So that training will kick off over here. So go ahead and subscribe today, because personal development and mindset is a big problem for many people. Most folks want to do what they want to do when they want to do it, which is a problem, because I have a friend who I've been telling this stuff. I've been giving high level consultation to, and he just did not do it. I've been talking to him for 10 years. I was like, you need to get your LLC, you need to get your business started. And what he did is he started messing with this woman. She got pregnant, they got married, And now she's been laid off, and it's all on him, and he doesn't have time to see which way he's going. And the marriage is kind of rocky. So he's like, I'm like, look, I told you what to do years ago. I told you what to do, and you didn't do it. You wanted to do what you wanted to do because it was comfortable. And we had that tough love conversation the other day. You got two choices. What's coming is what's coming. You can get ready for it, or you can be thrown under the bus by it. Jobs as we know it are disappearing for people without the proper skill sets. Remember, if you don't have any money, you don't have an income problem. You have a skill set problem. You just don't have the appropriate skill sets to make the kind of money that you want to make. That's your issue. Until you change your skill set situation, you will be forever chasing after money. Dermalate, show up for the training. Am I supposed to put my LLC inside a holding company or separate? You're going to need the training. Blinding Brother already subscribed to the Mindset Gym. Cool. Dead on tap. Thanks. Because this is what's going to happen. I did a video about it. Is income inequity is going to grow because people are not interested in getting the skills that pay the bills. I don't understand what happened with this generation. You can be anything you want. Forget about money. When income was removed from middle class, because that's one of the things that happened in the 40s or 50s. They took income out of the mix for middle class. And it became your class was dependent upon your education level, not your income level. And right now we have a bunch of middle class, upper middle class educated people with poor people incomes. And they were trying to figure out what happened, what went wrong. Tyra Gibson, yes, my business partner. I've been working on mindset for several years. What do you mean name trust for LLC? Some of you are asking questions. I don't know where you're coming from. Name trust. You're talking about a trust fund? You got the same shirt, Blind and Buddha. That's funny. All right, good. You start getting into these trust funds, your assets need to be paid off. Or you're going to be you're going to need to bring in the assistance of an attorney if you don't. Because there's two trusts, a revocable trust and an irrevocable trust. And there's a lot of questions that need to be asked before you start doing this stuff. My former landlord, he had an irrevocable trust, about 33 warehouses, commercial office buildings that were in this trust. And I remember writing my monthly rent check out to the trust, which included his two children. They were getting paid. Blind and Buddha. People don't want to learn any new skills because it requires people to put out effort. I think most people are just lazy and don't want the success. I kind of agree with that. There are many people who are interested in success but don't want to do the work. B. Daniels, I was told to put your real estate in a land trust, then name that trust on your LLC. Why? Shelley Jones, sometimes the juice ain't worth the squeeze. Land trust. Let's see. Okay, a land trust. Okay, a land trust is something totally separate. Totally separate. And that's, once again, you need to own this property outright. A land trust provides you anonymity. You can own some land and no one know who owns it. You could do a lot with a land trust. But to my question B, Daniels, what are you attempting to do? Because you'll have many people will tell you do this and do this without any practical reason why you're doing such a thing. Why would you want to do that? What are you trying to do? What are you trying to set up? This is a huge part of what's going on. What is your end goal for this land trust? Uh, Blind and Buddha, I worked retail for 4 years. I had that, decided to go the IT route. I did that to be more demanding. These skills tend to be what companies are looking for these days. Oh, IT is super strong. Robbie Rob, the new generation is odd. I talked to some Gen Z millennials. Some are really on the ball. Others seem to be a lost cause of lazy individuals who want something for nothing or low expectations. I've spoke about that. I agree. What's up, Christian? To get something you want that is valuable, it's going to take time, effort, and attention. This is part of how the process works. Many people don't want to go to it because, for years I've been telling you guys to start your business was going to take a few years. There have been many other folks who's like, you can do this instantly. It's only going to take a few weeks or a few months. And there are some people who have gotten to a certain income in a few weeks, but they haven't been able to maintain it. Other night, I was doing some research on people who started, doing the internet marketing thing when I did, and a lot of them are gone. Many of them are gone. They're not doing the thing anymore. They shut down their website. They haven't posted videos for years on YouTube. They just simply disappeared. Success is a marathon. It is not a sprint. And that's what many people are looking for. They're looking for this sprint where they can run and be there, and it's crazy. It is protection of assets under the LLC, and also you can name the trust to someone and pass it on. Barfield just found out you can make a trust and member in your LLC. Absolutely. Travis, I want to be part of the Black and Late. That's funny. I didn't realize I was part of that. Barfield, that's exactly what I mean, making a trust and member of on your LLC. Well, once again, making a trust a member versus having the trust own the LLC are two different things. Once again, what are you trying to do? Because one of the things that I have an issue with, I have people who are trying to do certain things because someone said, but they're not doing it because it makes sense. Like, the story of the woman who would cut the ends off of the ham and put it in this little pan. And one day her daughter said, "Hey, why do you do that?" She said, "Oh, no, my mother did it." Then she went to her mother and asked her mother why she did it. And mother's like, I don't know. Then my mom used to do it. And then I went to great grandma's like, well, I did it because the pan was too small. So what started off as some done out of practicality became something to do because other people saw someone do it. So that's one of the reasons I'm asking certain questions. What are you trying to do? What are you trying to accomplish? There's a lot of people who are trying to emulate people they believe to be smart without any real tactical reason. That's funny, Tavis. All right. Thanks, Sherry. Rob, true enough, my problem is I want to start an online business so I can stay home with my kids, but I'm making money on the side with a handyman business plus my job. All right. Yes, I meant what Barfield said. My outline is I have 5 kids. I want to have this trust made out to me in order to make sure they retain these paid off in sets. All right. B. Daniels, then you're going to have to do what my landlord did. All of the properties were in the trust. They were not a member of an LLC. The trust, the irrevocable trust, owned all of the properties. So the check that I made out, my rent check went to the landlord, went to the trust, and the trust divvied out the proceeds to the kids. So this is what I'm talking about. You know, you got to drill down this stuff. So you would have to do what he did. Barfield, I would make a trust of members because I have baby mamas. Oh Lord. No, I don't have any Kindle courses, but I am working on another book. I started it yesterday. It's very interesting. We're up to 1,092 words. I'll talk a little bit about that as I get deeper into it. So, here's the thing. If you want to have paid off properties, you need to create an irrevocable trust, meaning that the trust own the properties and you are the benefactor, you got it, and the money goes to the kids. Making your trust a member of the LLC does not accomplish the same thing. This is why you got to be very careful, going back to the cutting off the ends of the ham. You have a lot of people who've done that without understanding why the ends of the ham are being cut off. Because I have a lot of people who um, will say, I've heard this, I heard this, I heard this. This is why you want to become a tactician, not a technical student, become a technician of whatever you're doing. You want to actually do it from that perspective so you understand why you're doing it. Because B. Daniels, I had a feeling that you want a certain outcome because, making your trust a member of your LLC does not accomplish the same thing as having the trust own the property and then checks are written to the trust, because this is something that I have direct experience with my landlord, because we talked about it. Because I was like, you can't. He said, no, I can't sell any of the buildings. The buildings are in an irrevocable trust, and the checks that go to the trust are divvied out to my son and daughter every month. So we write these checks out, and they get a check. It was a beautiful thing. It was an amazing thing how this went. Yeah, because there's so many people who just do what other people are doing, whether it makes sense or not. Like, it's kind of crazy. There are so many people who are doing those things. All right. So this is what's happening. This is the training for next Tuesday, May the 7th, 7 p.m. Let's so this is the deal for the week. The art of holding. We'll get into this, and we're going to go over these. There will be a webinar. We'll go over business credit. We'll go over the parenting stuff, the art of holding companies, how to organize parent and operating companies. We will get deep into that. Next Tuesday's webinar is going to be longer than the one last night because we have a lot to go through. So that link is under the video. You can go in and start learning immediately. And I would say go ahead and get in here soon. And then for the webinar, write down your questions and what you want to discuss. And then we will get into that. Well, asset protection, this is the whole thing with the art of holdings. Setting it up is knowing what type of outcome you want from a tax strategy standpoint. This is one of the reasons that you can never truly tax the rich. This is why Amazon made billions of dollars and paid hardly anything in taxes. All right, Rob, because I decided to leave it there to help more people. So we will see who signs up, because we will get into this. And for anyone who wants to get this will be included in this deal. For anyone who wants to get into this one, thank you, DSLR Chronicles. Thank you, Rob, because we're going to get into a lot of training. So I just put a link in the comments, and I'm going to put this make sure all right. So we've got some stuff that's good to go. Christian Anderson, it is $500 for all of the LLC stuff. Plus, there is a live training coming in May. So just go ahead and grab that. All right. I'll see you guys later. I got to start working on this book and start putting my content where it needs to be. One of the things I'm doing is I'm putting videos on LinkedIn, and there's the Facebook. Let's go here. Oh, all right. I have to. Let me show you. So this is on Facebook. I started a page for money, income, and profit. There'll be very interesting content there. I'm on LinkedIn. So we got videos going up here. So we will see how that works. So we're getting ready to crank up the content creation. We're getting ready to crank up the training. There's a lot of things that are coming down the pike. Many, many things. So we will addressing that in the next live stream. All right. I'll see you guys later. You have a great day. Once again, the link is below the video in the description.